everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of the cathy-log series, a series where I share the journey and behind the scenes of all the projects we're working on at ULTBIAS. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest episodes so you don't miss out. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about, drumroll please, our next collection. We receive so many requests to release certain colors, designs, and I genuinely wish I could release all of them. But given the custom nature of our My Collection binders, it's just not possible. I try my best to make a note of each suggestion we receive in the hopes that one day I can release them. If you've ever taken the time to DM us, comment, or submit a suggestion, thank you so much. It genuinely means so much to me. Designing the next collection and deciding what to release is something I think about constantly. And it was probably in 2024. So last year when I was journaling, I put down a note that I would love to work with my dream brand. Now I know it sounds wild and I 100% had no idea how I was going to make it happen or what I needed to do, but it was something that I wanted to work towards, which feels really surreal that I did that in 2024 because somehow or some way it worked. I mean, it worked because I'm here to officially announce that we are working with one of my dream brands. Like as in ULTBIAS, and I am so happy to finally be sharing this and super excited to be sharing this with our community. I keep saying that it feels so surreal because I've been working it for so long and keeping it a secret from everyone. But to finally announce it, I just feel so happy, and I'm going to try my best to not cry because that's how happy I am and I want to keep it together for this video. Before we share which brand we're working with, I really want to take everyone on the journey of how we got here. I've heard so many stories of opportunity coming through from like a DM, a comment, someone knowing someone, but for us, that was not the case. Because I wanted to work towards this goal of working with my dream brand, I remember just doing a quick search, seeing what I could find online, whether it was an email, a phone number, someone who worked at the company, someone who knew someone that I could be in touch with. There pretty much wasn't anything available online. The only thing I was able to find is that they had an office in LA. If you didn't know already, I am based in Sydney, Australia, and a flight to LA is around 18 hours. Quite a trip. With that information, it really didn't help me much, and I remember just sitting on it until one day I came across an article saying that this brand was going to be at a convention. When I saw this article, it felt like it was a sign. It felt like this was the only opportunity I was going to get to basically connect with this brand and talk to them and see if we could work together. The only thing I had to consider was that it was going to be in the US. So that is an 18-hour flight with so much uncertainty, and it would not be guaranteed. I know it sounds completely crazy even just telling the story again. And I remember at the time just thinking there was just so much uncertainty and I didn't even know if I should even do it. I was just so unsure at the time. It definitely seemed out of reach and impossible. Someone who just started collecting and sharing the collecting journey with the community to then later be able to work with their dream brand. Yes, I definitely had to pursue this. I booked the tickets and made the flight. So in April 2024, I booked the flights and made my way over to the US. It wasn't the easiest trip that I've ever taken, but definitely was an experience. I don't think I fully processed that I had booked flights to potentially go and speak to my dream brand and potentially work with them. It just felt more like a holiday until I got to the convention. Getting to the convention, the only thing I could think of was, what do I do now? Do I just walk up and speak to them? Do I say hi? How does this work? But then again, I reminded myself, if I was to walk up to them and introduce myself, what is the worst that could happen? The opportunity to work with my dream brand is literally in front of me. And so I did. I walked up to them and said, "Hi, I'm Cathy, I'm from ULTBIAS, and I would love to work with you." And to my surprise, they said, "If you come back tomorrow, we'd love to have a chat." Like, I feel like after hearing that, it just felt like time stopped and it was like a blur. Like, what do you mean they want to talk to me? I was in so much denial. They wanted me to come back tomorrow and talk to them. I remember running back to the hotel room, taking out my laptop and just started working on slides. I wanted to talk about everything about ULTBIAS and just sharing all the achievements with ULTBIAS and how far we've come. I remember going through the slides probably like 100 times, 1,000 times over. I did not sleep at all that night because I was so nervous and just, again, still in complete denial. But one thing I knew was that I was going to give it everything I got and just try my best. The next day came around and it was my time to present. The team I met was super lovely and engaged with my slides. I told them everything that we had done at ULTBIAS, the achievements, our products, and I feel like just even in that moment, having the opportunity to present everything that we did for ULTBIAS made me realize how far we've come. And I think just even having the opportunity to present that is something that I will forever be grateful for, because it just made me so proud of what we had achieved and genuinely made me so happy. It felt like the meeting went on for a really long time, but that's maybe because I was talking. But one thing I do remember is that it ended on a very promising note. One thing I do want to say is that I knew that I gave it my everything. I was super happy with my presentation. I had no regrets flying the 18 hours, and I think from the overall experience, if I had learned anything, if there's anything that you've wanted to do but have been unsure or just not sure how it could go, just do it. If the outcome isn't what you wanted, there will be so many learnings to come from it. After the convention, I made my flight back to Sydney, and at the time I was just thinking about all the campaigns that I had to work on, what we're going to do for Christmas. I do juggle multiple projects, which keeps me pretty occupied, but I couldn't help but have at the back of my mind the thought, what is going to happen next? It wasn't until one day I was sitting in the office, I received an email, and in this email it said, "We would like to continue discussions further." Is it really happening? What do I do now? Like, I just remember just sitting there just silently for like a minute or two, just making sure it wasn't spam, making sure it was actually addressed to me. I thought the stars were aligning. Until. There is always the until. Yes, until. Timings didn't align as there were challenges that needed our attention at ULTBIAS first. If you've been following us for the last year, you may know what I'm referring to, and this ultimately put a pause on the discussions with the dream brand that I wanted to work with. It wasn't until February 2025 this year do we work through all the things we need to work through, and we weren't in a position to open discussions again. I remember being really nervous reaching out and asking if they wanted to hear an update from us. I thought the worst case scenario, as in I thought they wouldn't respond to us. But to my surprise, they came back and said, yes, let's do it. Let's put a meeting in place. I really wanted to know if the opportunity was still there, and after meeting with them and talking to them, it definitely was.
I'm about to sign the contract. I can't believe it's happening. Okay.
I do want to take the time to thank the dream brand for being super patient with me. The process was so smooth because of the team, so thank you so much. Which brings us to today. So this entire year up until this point, I have been working on this collection with my dream brand. I am so incredibly happy and excited to be sharing this news. We are going to be working with